Welcome back to another episode of Very Vehicular. As always, I'm your host, Brian Scotto. Today, we've got returning friends of the pod, none other than Vinnie Anatra and Zach Mertens, who actually we've never had on the show together before. So at least that's a first. And today, Topic Roulette. That's right, we pick topics out of a hat and we talk about it. It's that simple, but of course, we're going to make it very complex. Enjoy it. Welcome to my sweaty lair, which we call the podcast studio. It's fucking hot in here.
I gotta say, I had an email come in to do a YouTube ad slot for a brand I don't remember, probably some junk crap product, but it was a mini split.
I thought we talked about this last time and you never sent me the contacts. So
you never hit me up about it. But yeah, dude, someone's out there slanging AC sponsorship. You should get one.
I actually bought a portable AC and it broke when we turned it on. So I just figured we're supposed to sweat.
Okay. Well, I mean, me and you could stand to lose a couple pounds.
That's true.
I don't know if this is the best way to do it, though. Heat stroke is never a good way. Listen, as somebody that grew up in a family of HVAC people, all right, this level of uncomfortability is not great.
You know what's bad? When you said HVAC people, I just saw Brad in my head.
No.
Because when I think HVAC people, I think bad, daddy, bratty.
Who just posted a picture on Facebook of his speedboat that has a twin turbo LS in it, which is cool. And it was on fire. And
which is like, also kind of sick.
This is like exactly what I would expect going on.
So you're saying Brad's living his best life right now?
Yeah.
You know what? Shout out to him for just sticking to it. You know what I mean? Like,
do not
consistency.
Improve. Yeah.
The thing about Brad is like, there's no difference between YouTube Brad and real life Brad. Like everyone else caffeinates a little bit. They turn it up a little bit for camera. No, that's Brad's real life. Like Brad is just Brad.
Yeah.
You think he turns it down for camera?
Bro, he came to my house one day with his kid. And like he came down this like as if he was like running like the San Felipe whoops. I'm like, bro, chill out. What are you doing? Like, why do you have to be a menace at 60 or however old he is? Anyway, we love you, Brad. Anyway, boys, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
What's going on?
Oh, just sweating, you know?
Yeah.
Just haven't seen this guy in feels like ages.
Wait, really?
Well, you know,
We all live in the same town.
yeah, we all work.
We have no excuses to not see each other.
Yeah, we saw a lot of each other, though, for a long time.
That's because,
so,
like, that is true. We need this distance now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know
true.
what? We all get together and it's like, nothing ever like changed. So, you know, we could just pick right back up.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, the shit talking just comes right
I think
out.
I probably see Zach more often than anyone, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We see each other pretty often.
Yeah, pretty
just
often.
haven't. He's always like on the road doing burnout wars and stuff.
Well, you know, that and trying to build stupid cars. By the way, kids, don't get into YouTube, okay?
It is such a diminishing return at this point.
Can we scramble change to a new subject in the edit? That's something happy.
Speaking of which, you just got an engine in the old Camaro I'm working on. Feels good, except
it doesn't fit.
It
but whatever.
fits. It's a little big. It's a little big.
That's good. And I finally purchased a vehicle that I think both of you guys would be really proud of me for. It's dumb enough for you.
Is it old?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
And it's dumb enough for you.
So it's got to be an American truck.
Yeah.
It's got a big block?
It's got a huge motor that makes zero power.
Nice.
Guzzles gas.
But does it sound good?
No.
That's unfortunate.
And yeah.
We can fix that with a Sawzall.
Yeah. And what else? Oh, also it's did I say it's slow? Oh, and it's useless for its intended purpose, which is cool.
What is it?
It's a GMT 400 dually,
Nice.
quad cab, 8-foot bed, 10 inches lowered, C-notched, bag rear.
Did you drive it here?
Fucking cool. No, I was going to, but I
But it costs too
can't
much to
afford
get
it.
here.
Yeah.
You'd be a half an hour late.
Wait, where are you parking this?
dude, it takes up my entire like home property.
Yeah.
Like it takes up the entire front of my house. I can't leave it at my shop because it doesn't fit in a parking spot, and I can't get it into my shop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It's the
Great.
American dream.
Yeah.
You bought-
Yeah, that's smart.
You got like a Texas limousine.
Yeah. But it's got 2 subs.
Sick.
It's got limo tint, and it's got like small Alcoas, so it's cool. It's so sick. And it's got a bench front seat. Dude,
Shit.
driving, Amy next
Pretty
to me.
cool.
Just
Yeah, I was about to say
chilling.
that's
Sick.
There was a good song. Cake did a good song about having a bench seat.
Yeah, bench seat's tight.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. Nice. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Welcome to the suck.
I have nothing new. I haven't told the pod already. I bought a normal car, but they know that already. I keep talking about it.
It's so normal, guys. You don't even understand how normal it is. It was at the detail guy's shop next door to me, Gustavo's, and I didn't even know it was Brian's car because I thought it was just like a pedestrian ass car. Audi does a good job at
hiding 520 horsepower
yeah,
sports sedan.
They're like, we're gonna make a sports sedan.
In what looks like a fat Altima.
No. It's a very handsome car.
It is.
But you can't tell it's not an A4.
Right.
You know, like it just looks like a normal car.
Right. Like if it was involved in a hit and run, you'd be like, I don't know, some kind of like black base model Audi.
Yeah. But
Why's it got to be black?
The interior is sick though. The
So
interior is really
what you're
sick.
describing is like a dude that used to like shine in football in like JV and still talks about the glory. He's still got some power under him, but you know,
Yeah, but he's got a coat of
pounds.
flesh off the top now, you know?
Yeah, it's
just
got khaki shorts.
It's a
and
nice
like
car for you. As I was walking up and I saw your S8 parked on the street,
The
I was
other
like,
S8.
yeah, I was like, what's the point of that thing now? It's just like older and less good,
You know,
but more handsome.
but it actually, because I drove it the other day after I drove the cars back to back, the S8 just feels really connected, where the newer S8 feels like a land yacht. Like you jump in the S8 and you're like, oh, for a big body car, this feels like really connected still.
It's a much nicer
It's like a
looking car.
driver's luxury car versus
Yeah.
a straight luxury car.
I'd noticed something pulling up here that nobody street parks in this neighborhood except for right around your house. And I was like, wow,
12
there's
cars scattered about.
It was like 11, I thought, 11, 12.
The
And I
nice
was like,
part
oh,
is,
yeah,
though-
all these have to be Brian's.
So there's a dude.
Street sweeping is a difficult day for me. I have to start like an hour and a half before the sweeper shows up.
There's a dude in an adjacent town, and you could tell they're all his cars because he's got like 80s Thunderbirds like lined up. But what's funny about Brian's lineup is to like, the passerby. You would never think it's all the same person because it's all the most random bullshit.
75 Rabbit, lifted E350 4x4 van, S8. I don't know what else is out there.
the Rabbit, Land Cruiser.
Vanagon.
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, boys. Well, today we are here to do Topic Roulette. Vinny's played this before. I'm pretty sure you'll catch up pretty quick, Zach. So we're going to pick things out of a hat. We'll talk on it for however long. Eventually, producer Nick will be like, we've been talking too long. He'll hit us with a light. We'll move forward to the next topic.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
All right. So this is like a mixture of things I threw in here. You guys threw in some topics, and it's also some stuff that some of the listeners have hit us.
It's a type of the type of show that makes me kind of anxious because I don't know shit about dick. So like I'm like, oh,
There's enough in here that we could
pass.
pass on one.
Is the fast truck segment, Raptor or TRX, the new fast car?
And I actually think I want to add a whole other piece of the segment to it because now like Ram has the new
the
Rumblebee, and then Shelby just released like a new crazy basically single cab.
So I think the Raptor TRX thing isn't the new thing. I think those are cool, but you know what I think is cool and is the new like fast car segment? The single cab 4x4.
Fast street trucks.
Dude, Mexican GTRs are the coolest thing. I saw one.
Mexican GTR.
They're called Mexican GTRs.
You never
I've
heard that?
actually never heard
Yeah,
that.
that's like what the internet calls them.
Yeah.
I'm not being racist.
Like Beto's car. It's
Yeah.
like all that kind of
Yeah. We saw one
Beto's
the other day, and it was like Go On 3 and I was like, dude, a roll race reference on a pickup truck is so sick.
Dude, honestly, it's like it is the cheat code for.
Well, no, finish.
No, because like you can get one of those for basically dirt cheap, right?
No.
Comes with a Coyote. Well,
What, the Fords? I
Yeah.
thought they come pretty. Like,
Okay.
you
All
get
right,
a base model.
Hot take. I was going to do this for that throttle throwdown show thing. And then I went and looked at these things. And for dirt cheap, AKA $50,000 to get a 4x4 Coyote single cab, you get a fucking truck that doesn't have carpet. It has a rubber mat and like a radio out of a rental
weight
car.
savings, my friend. Weight savings.
they're
I'm
just
sorry.
doing all the legwork.
Don't
for
care.
You.
Yeah.
Now,
if I'm
look,
paying $50,000, I at least want like,
are you trying to get a brand new one?
no, I was looking at like 20, 23, 24, 25.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're still expensive.
Damn. Well, it's been a minute since I looked at it, but back in 23, I was actually going to get one
Yeah.
before I got the Raptor, and I had something like worked out, but the problem was it was a 24, and they were like, dude, we can't figure out how to unlock these because they switched over to that system where everything is like RFID coded on every single sensor and stuff, and so like they couldn't technically
And CAN bus stuff and things.
Yeah. My problem is I'm a big Ford truck guy. So I think Gen 3 Raptor is like beautiful on the inside. I thought it would be that, but without the rest of it. And then you get into these expensive 4x4 like work truck Coyote trucks. And I was just like, damn, this thing sucks inside.
Yeah.
But I think here's the basis of this idea is that for the past 10 or so years, we've all been complaining that there's no good sports cars anymore, only to realize that the fast market has actually moved to trucks. Because there's never been a better time for fast trucks.
Yeah.
Like we have the Raptor, we have the TRX, but then also now we have fast street trucks.
Which is so, actually, that's a really interesting point to bring up, that like the Raptor and TRX exist getting 10 miles per gallon, but every fun sports car needs to be like absolutely castrated and run fucking hybrid bullshit turbos and like things that like ruin the car.
Think that.
And you're like, why can't you get a GT3 or a new NSX or something that gets 6 miles per gallon? Like no one would care.
I mean, the TRX, it's $100,000, so it's an expensive vehicle.
Yeah.
But name another sports car that is really as obscene as that is for $100,000.
Dude, we had a TRX. Remember?
It was fucking terrifyingly fast.
Yeah, it was fast, but it also cost a fortune to drive to San Luis Obispo.
That is true. But even the RHO, which is more regular Raptor based,
I like that.
Great vehicle.
You still get down. I will say this. I was on the, I don't know what they call it, but it was like when they first released it, I went
Press launch.
I went up to, I don't know, Michigan, whatever, and the proving grounds there for the Rumblebee thing.
Oh, so you drove the Rumblebee?
I haven't driven it yet. They wouldn't, because there was only one, right?
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't let you drive it either then.
But I will say, they did a hell of a job. And when I heard it was like, oh, they're not making a single cab, I was kind of pissed, right? But then I saw it in real life and I was like, this actually looks good. And here's the thing. I think the fast truck thing is, I think this is a real thing because it's so much more usable than a sports car. Like you can throw some lumber in the back. You can like haul your family. And then like even the extended cab, like on the Rumblebee, it's pretty damn big in the back. It's way bigger
I'm
than
not going to lie. One of my dream vehicles, but I won't own it because it's like owning a Civic in New York City in the fucking 2000s, is a Trackhawk.
Yeah.
Dude, Trackhawk rules.
Yeah. But, and so again, here, like think about all this. We've been talking as car guys about how there's been no like future classics. And I think what the realization is all the future classics are fast trucks.
Yeah.
The Trackhawk is a future classic. The fast Durango, whatever it's called, is a future classic.
Hellcat, Durango, SRT, whatever.
The TRX is a future classic. Clearly the Raptor is a
And the cool thing about that is they're
classic.
making like a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like limited production, low numbers thing, you know?
Yo, the crazy thing about that Rumblebee is like
What is the Rumblebee? How am I so uninformed?
okay.
Oh, really?
So
this is
check
the
this
thing
out.
right
Like I have not seen anything about this. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So it's actually like in real life, the proportions look really damn good.
I just like
It is kind of a weird, like it is a little weird looking, but it does look good.
I don't care about any of that. I am a big FCA fan because they continue to make like the most ignorant
Tim
vehicles
Kaniskis
ever.
is a madman.
But
like he literally just approves anything. And
hey, could you just go back and look at that livery? This is literally Hot Topic like meets Ed Hardy in the worst way
But the Raptor
possible.
had the same thing too. For some reason, fast trucks need tribal tattoos. Like I don't know what it is, but that's what they give you.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like we all know it's white monster aesthetic, but like, can we just chill out a little bit?
Listen,
how do I get the graphics delete package?
By the way, the white monster collab with the new Rumblebee would be a pretty cool move. Yeah, I'm just saying, it would sell.
It
Piles
would
around the
probably
world.
go real hard.
Yeah,
I'm
go
not gonna
real
lie.
hard.
But yeah, I mean, like the fact that they make, a 700 plus horsepower supercharged V8, and they're like, let's just like shove this in everything.
And let's also make it so you can do burnouts.
Can you
in it,
guys
'cause we
pump
know
the
that's
brakes
important.
because I'm sure there's a couple morons like me out there that didn't know what this is. Why is it cool? You're like, this is it, and I'm like, oh, cool, a truck with
Well,
a
give
demon
them
head on
what
it.
the
What's
specs on it.
yeah, what's the deal?
So look, the thing's dumped from the factory, right? It does have like a hydraulic suspension
You're
on it.
losing me so fast.
Oh,
Just get to the power.
It makes a shit ton of power, right? 8-speed, obviously, and then it's got a locker in the rear, and then you could turn off 4-wheel drive, so you can just do burnouts, right?
I like that.
And it when I was there, they had already done like 165 plus in it.
That's sick. I like that because remember back in the day when
Lightning,
Ram,
and or the Ford Lightning,
the Viper truck,
yeah,
which the irony was that they just put a truck motor back in a truck.
I forgot about that. All right, yeah, fast trucks. They're the new future
I like
classic.
it. Yeah.
All right,
Let's see. What do we got?
what do we got next?
All right. LA to New York. What car are you driving? Car must be pre-OBD2.
You start, Zach.
Honestly, I've always wanted to do that in like a 70 Coupe de Ville.
Horrible.
I don't know. That sounds kind of luxurious.
Like just, now you're obviously not setting any like land speed.
No,
records
this is
with
just like you got to do the drive. You want to make it entertaining, right?
Yeah. I think I would do it in a E28 M5.
That's a good one.
Sporty, comfortable, reliable, but still fun. We'll pack miles on straight roads, hit some twisties somewhere in the mountains, you know? Like, I think that'd be a fun car.
That is a good one. What kind of torture would I put myself into?
Also, I just got to say, Scotto was like, I want to do one lap of America. And one of our friends who would never tolerate anything Scotto does was like, I want to do it. Let's get a C8. And I was like, that's so boring. You have to do it in Scotto's car of choice, but you don't get to know.
Yeah, it's got to be like some Yugoslavian.
I would just love for like Alex to get so stoked to do this trip, and then you just pick him up in the Rabbit, just like unprepped, you know.
No AC.
Bernu and I could not be more different. This man just like he only likes luxury, but then he'll talk about how his luxury isn't luxury. He's like, I had to get like a normal car. You know, I bought a brand new Defender 110. I'm like, I had to get a new car and I bought something that was 15 years old and it's the newest thing I bought.
So what's your choice of paint?
I think like I've done cross country in a lot of different things.
I've only driven cross country once.
I've done
it was in a Nissan Altima.
That's horrible. Horrible. Is that when you moved here for
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it in a C6Z06. I've done it in a B7 RS4. I've done it in a 28
Coast to coast or only parts?
No, coast to coast.
Oh shit.
I've done it in a Penske 28-foot truck. I've done it in my Audi A8. I actually think I would like go all the way back and
did you do them all east to west?
I've done them both directions. Damn, yeah, I've done New York to LA. I've done San Francisco back to New York. Yeah, I've done it a couple of
okay.
And then what else did I do it in? I forget. But I actually really think just because it would be super fun is a suicide door Lincoln drop top.
Yeah.
Like
See,
I
both
think it's
you
like
guys-
a fun cruiser to get across.
I feel
the
like
country.
both
and
you
it
guys
still
think
cruises
that-
at like me and him did a really long drive in the Oldsmobile.
See, 'cause I was
once you're up to speed, it's pretty
sitting
good.
in like in the top whatever the fuck I bought the dually with like the bench seat. I'm like, this is just not ergonomic to sit in.
Well, yeah,
for
so you're in a
long.
bench seat in a truck, but like you're in a Cadillac with like thick grain quilted leather. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
That is something where if we didn't
Just-
live in California where space is ungodly expensive, I want to build a 60s Cadillac. That's
And
like the dream build. for
And
a
here's
cruiser.
the thing: the entire playlist can only be songs that have appeared in a Scorsese film.
Mm.
so you
That's
kind of
just
got to
the
do it
vibe.
in a
Because at
Cadillac.
some point, then you're gonna bash someone's brain in with a payphone.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
need-
gonna feel appropriate.
And you have to have like a nickel plated.
Of course, under the seat, wrapped in a rag. Yeah, that would definitely be the one for me. I mean, we did the Oldsmobile with no top in the rain. It wasn't bad.
And hail.
And hailstorm. Yeah, when we went to Woodward.
Where is that thing now?
I don't know. We sold it. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
That thing
It
was,
got sold for cheap too. It got sold for like $2,500 or something.
Ooh.
dude, that thing was legendary.
Yeah,
it was
cool.
it was really just chill as fuck.
It was a
drive.
great
It
lunchtime
was
runner.
so quiet.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to be like, I was really excited about, but it was just like a nice cruiser. It
Yeah.
was like a very normal car.
Can you imagine just going on a road trip like that with like at some point both people would be asleep, like at the wheel, just
I mean,
You
Just
pull
through
a little,
Nebraska,
you pull a
like-
little blanket up, just bungee cord the steering wheel.
I'll say something.
God, steer for me.
I'll say something that would be the worst car to drive cross country is a vehicle that Zach and I drove maybe 1/32nd across the country, which is Zach's Jimmy. Holy shit. That was the worst road trip vehicle I've ever been in my life.
You guys drove from Havasu, right?
Yeah, it's so loud and because it's got a huge converter, it just sounds like a a boat not on plane, and you have to stop for gas like literally less than every 100 miles. We stopped 8 times to get gas to going to Havasu.
But it was sick though.
And we all got there and our ears were just like, we're like so exhausted.
His K5 is like one of the most dangerous feeling cars I've ever been in because he drives it around Huntington Beach just completely as an absolute menace. And every time I'm in it, I'm like, this isn't the car I want to die in. Like, that's all. Like, there are cars I'm okay with dying in. That's not one of them.
I don't know.
Die in that thing. It's
No,
like
you
8,000
just you'd also you'd get like ejected out the back window and just end up as a viral video.
I mean, honestly, getting ejected, you could land in some grass and be totally fine.
Just walk it off, land on your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, slam the landing. All right, here we go.
What do we got here?
This is my turn. All right, what do we got? Bigger sin. Rep wheels, eBay turbos, or Temu suspension.
Rep wheels first, 100%.
Biggest sin is rep
Biggest
wheels.
sin. Actually, I'm going to take it a step further. If any of you guys out there do this shit, unsubscribe from him. Still watch me, but unsubscribe from Pod. Is Alibaba wheels. Like, I fucking hate this trend, and I think anyone that does it is an idiot for so many reasons. Because first off, you're buying reps. Secondly, you're supporting nonsense and like killing the community. But third, you're trying to save money by buying something that on this, like when you go to sell it is worth nothing. So it's like you're better off buying a used real thing and then having something that has value instead of buying a replica wheel is like throwing your money out. Like you get to stunt to a bunch of boys in a parking lot.
But it's a fake Prada bag.
But it's a fake Prada bag that you could sell a real Prada bag. You know, you could sell a real Rolex, a real fucking Louis Vuitton, whatever. You can't sell a rep. You throw them in the trash. So like, and if you're the type of person to sell the reps as real, then you're just a huge pile
then
of
you're
shit.
a scumbag.
Yeah. So that's my thing. I hate that trend. I don't know why everyone's so into it. It's like, have pride in your shit, save up and get the thing. I've been broke, bought used parts. Like,
Now,
you can also buy non-rep wheels that aren't expensive.
Yeah.
Like Koenig or something
get
like
RPF
that.
ones.
Yeah.
now look, I think biggest sin, I'm going to go for the wheels as well, but like, it seems really dangerous buying Temu suspension. Like,
Yeah, I'll say that's your own problem.
Yeah.
And maybe
That's
everyone else on the road.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know about sin because it's like, hey man, like roll your own dice and like take it from somebody that like lives pretty fucking dangerously. Dude, I wouldn't trust.
The man with no seatbelts says, don't run Temu
Honestly,
suspension.
though,
You could
like-
hurt someone else.
hit me up to do integrate like a build for them. And I was like, I just can't promote. Like, I'm sure they're fine, but suspension is one of those things where you're like, I don't know, I'm scared. I don't want to like go rip around in the
On shit car.
But I would tell people like, if you're going to build an Apple Valley drift shitter, throw who cares? Go have fun. But like
for like an extra $100, you can get Solo Works.
But if you're going to go rip up like Angela's Crest or something, like, I don't know. Kind of sketch.
Yeah.
eBay Turbo is the least. I love it. I'm still an eBay.
So
Turbo.
I'm on rep wheels too, and I actually want to. When we did our show where we talked about the worst mods with other Zach, a lot of people got mad that we called out rep wheels. They're like, "Oh, not everybody's rich," and I'm like, yeah, but there's a huge difference between buying a low dollar wheel or a used wheel than a wheel that's actually pretending to be something else.
Or just used. Because like my thing is growing
I
up.
only buy used wheels.
Yes, I still buy used wheels.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, let him get that done.
Fuck. Okay.
Don't even gut that out. Just let that run.
Went down the wrong hole. All right.
That's what
like,
she said.
Used wheels are good. I still buy used wheels. And when I was a kid, I made like $8 an hour, which wasn't too long ago. So it wasn't like, you're seeing movies for a nickel. But, I was making like $8 an hour and I still bought cool stuff. Like you just buy it used or you refinish it yourself, or you get wheels like Graham lights that are cheap or Enkis or like lower level stuff. That's like fine.
Yeah.
I'm just not into like the passing off fakes as real.
Like BBS LMs is a huge.
Well, like the Alibaba thing now.
Yeah.
I'm in a BBS Facebook group where people are constantly posting wheels and they're like, hey, I'm going to buy these, but I can't tell if they're real or not.
Yeah.
And like they engrave the serial numbers and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's like super
I just think
sketch.
it's really shitty because like you're taking away from like people actually trying to put in the work, right? And like putting all the R&D work and all the expense towards it, and then just, be like, oh, fuck that. I'll just like rip it. You're stealing, essentially.
I think Tommy F. actually said this the best. We were talking about it and we were saying how like the thing that sucks is like you buy the rep thing, but then you have these people who are going to sell the rep thing as a real thing.
Yeah.
And this happens all over. I mean, now you could get like Porsche lightweight carbon buckets and stuff off Alibaba and they look
crazy,
like identical. And he was like, you know, the thing that sucks is like the joy of the car hobby is like trying to build a car. Like not like what's the like everyone wants to just have the build done instead of being like, "Ooh, my god, I found this part." Or like I want to find this part. I got to search to get this part. Now it's like they want the instant satisfaction, but it's like what's the satisfaction if everything's fake or everything's bullshit and you just ordered it from China and got it? It's like no longer that special thing.
It
anymore.
also ruins the real wheel because like now OZ Future is one of my favorite wheels of all time. Just reps are everywhere.
Yeah.
So now the wheel is like oversaturated. It's not cool anymore. What made it cool was that it wasn't like that commonplace to see them. And when you saw them, you're like, oh, that's a really nice set that like you either refinished or found or whatever. And now when people look at them, they're like, are those reps?
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Listen, everything is already faking, kids. All right, keep something real in your life.
All right, next question.
Ooh, yeah. Next car to pop in value. This
is a Vinnie question.
This would have been the easiest question to answer a year ago.
What was the question a year ago?
You just go off production numbers. You could look at, say, like, you know, the near and dear to my heart, like the 997 GT3s. It makes sense they went up in value. They made 1,000 GT3s. They made 500 GT3 RSs, right? That's a real little amount of cars. But now I watched the 458 market triple in the last 4 months.
Why do you think 458s tripled and we didn't see 430 or 360?
They did. They're all going up too.
Yeah, but not like 458.
Because I think the 458's a better car. Like it's a nicer car for rich people to spend money on. Like if you're rich and you buy a 430 or a 360, your initial reaction is going to be this car sucks. Because like it's fun to drive, but it's like a piece of shit. Whereas like a 458, you get in
it's
and
like a proper newer Ferrari.
Yeah,
it breaks the rule though for Ferraris because Ferraris usually have like when they're brand new, they're a lot of money, and then they start to fall off, and then they go in this weird world where they slump because they're neither new or classic,
Right.
and then they start to become classic like a 355, and the market explodes. So I really thought 360 would be next. It was weird for me that 458 like popped up.
I would actually say the 360, if we back out of all production numbers, right, and just think about like what cars are. 458 is the last naturally aspirated Ferrari ever made, right? In like that area.
Yeah.
That's valuable. The 360 is like the first of being reliable. No one gives a shit.
It's the first daily drivable Ferrari.
Yeah,
and it's also I mean, I guess there was F1 transmission before, but that was like the first really well.
So it's the first reliable one, not that exciting. And then the 430 just got better, and then the 458 got better. So like you could see where it's like it's not the last of anything.
I don't think the 458's as good looking as the 430 though. I think the 430 and the 360 are like a sweet spot.
Yeah. But it's crazy. In February or March, I went to go look at a white one with 30 something thousand miles. It was 180 grand. And I was like, okay, it's a good car though. Like white, had LMs, had an exhaust, whatever. Went to go look at it. It needed some work. And I was like, it's just too expensive of a car to like have like a shitty bumper respray and a sagging headliner. So I passed on it. That car right now would be like $340,000.
Do you think that market manipulation has played a role in that?
I think it has, but like people are buying them. Like people are doing it.
Really?
Yeah. I think that there is a lot of bullshit going on, but I think that also the other part of it is that there's more like, you know, we live in this like K-shaped economy thing. So like poor people have no money, rich people have too much money, and every 13-year-olds making millions of dollars off AI and shit now. So like, I think there's just people buying stuff. Like I think people actually have money and believe the hype. They're not as deep into the community and they see the hype and they just fucking buy stuff. Like,
so the question is, what's the next car to pop?
I honestly couldn't even make sense of it. I could not tell you because like the Ferrari market, like I said, production numbers is what usually drives up values. They made 20,000+ 458s. It's not a rare car by any means. So like, how does that make any sense that it's so expensive? There so many that could be for sale. I would say, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you.
What do you think?
Dude, I have no idea on this, but like I can tell you at least in the American side of things, right? Like I've watched a few of the, obviously they don't have like such a significant jump like, you know, European stuff, right? But it seems to be, and I'm building that catfish, right? And like, dude, you could get those cars for, when I got that thing, it was like all day $5,000-6,000, right? For one in decent condition. I'm not talking about clapped out, right? And I was like, whatever, right? So it's, it's a cheap car. You can still do some stuff with it, right? And it'll work for my audience. And, like I liked them. It's a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah, I love those cars.
Since then, now I've watched them jump up to 10, 12, right? In just like less than a year.
And think about that. We're not talking about crazy numbers, but percentages.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
It's doubled, right?
Yeah.
And I have a buddy, Justin Keith, who owns a Killer Performance out in Kansas City. And like, he's bought like 5 of them in the last like few months.
I think this is the thing. I think there's a lot of fear for people, and I feel it too. Like I don't want more cars. I have no space for it, but I want to panic buy cars right now because there is this thing where it's like, when I was always like, man, I can't wait until I always buy and sell cars. I never keep stuff. I'm like, I can't wait until I make enough money. I could buy a brand new whatever, keep it forever. Now, I don't think there's a single car I'd want to own and like keep long term. And I don't think anything new is coming out that's like majorly exciting. We talked about it on a previous episode here. I think the best car that you could get for a fun driving car is a GT86.
Yeah.
Like,
as far as a new car.
Yeah, new car, yeah. Here's my list. I think Evo 8, Evo 9 are about to pop. I think STIs are about to pop of like the GD era, right? Only because it follows the rule of like the people who have disposable income now wanted those cars when they were young. Yeah. Those are the mid 2000 cars. I also think E46 M3s are probably going to explode, and for multiple reasons, but like it's probably the last like analog EM3. And again, it fits into that mid 2000 era of like that car was there. And since E46s became sort of really popular just with young kids, a lot of them are getting destroyed. So you're not going to have as many nice ones. The same thing with the Evo and the STI. Like finding a good one's really difficult.
It's crazy that STIs are still cheap. Like
I know.
I looked at one right here in Long Beach the other month for like $20K, and it was low mileage.
I think in a year from now, we'll be like, I can't believe we didn't pick that up.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a bunch of Evos. They've gone up,
but they haven't jumped like
they haven't
crazy.
Super jumped.
Yeah. They haven't gone out of control yet. It's not like a FDR 7 or Super where it's just like it's worth 4x what it was worth 5 years ago.
I've also seen Vipers, like
I
Vipers.
think Vipers might make a weird comeback.
Yeah, and like,
have you seen a Gen 4 ACR Extreme?
Yeah,
they're like $1 million now.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
So Mike Tornabetti and I were at the McLaren dealership back in like 2015, and they were like rolling one off of a flatbed, and they got it up in on the lift, and we were looking under it, and I was like, those look like A-arms from a Ram.
Yeah,
like
probably were.
It's
a 6-lug sports car.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they look, but I like them.
I don't mind the 2nd gen and the 3rd gen.
Yeah,
I wish they sounded cooler.
Mike No Limit Fab.
Yeah.
I want to drive his Viper with a sequential so bad.
What does it make, like 1,200 horsepower or something?
Everything he has.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of really cool shit.
Yeah, but I want to drive that shit. That seems so fun. Just like a 1,200 horsepower Viper with a sequential seems like a blast.
That seems pretty low in the world of like, is it twin turbo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like pretty like chill.
Or maybe it makes 2,000.
Yeah, who knows? Everything else he has makes 2,000.
Yeah, usually that shit's like 2,000-3,000 horsepower, you know, like.
Yeah. I think what Mike has is a good car that could potentially, like R8 V10. Yeah. Good car, reliable. Yeah. Looks cool.
You can drive it all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? You think Evo 8.9?
I think Evo 8.9, STI, I think E46 M3. And I'll tell you another one I think we're going to see is Z06, C6 Z06, because I think all of a sudden the entire drift community started buying Corvettes and trashed them all. And even though it's not a rare car, it's been made more rare because of it. So.
They've definitely gone up in the last couple.
And
of months.
also, like, it used to just be old guys like them. Now I always see slammed ones on like JDM wheels driving around, like look super cool.
I don't know how they'll age, but I think the C8 Z06 is like one of the best cars for the money.
Yeah. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll come right back. By now, you might have realized I really enjoy European things. I mean, my cars are European. My tools are European. I mean, my producer, he's British, which I think is still European.
That was rude, but go on.
Did I tell you what I did this weekend?
What did you do?
So I decided that I'm going to actually park the Vanagon for a little bit and get back to driving the RS2. Like literally knock the dust off of it. And to do that, I figured I'd do a little preventive maintenance.
It's not something I think of when I think of you, dude.
Yeah, you see, the problem is that car gets a lot of things right, but there's this one issue where the strut bearings just constantly fail, especially if the car is like slammed on its nuts like mine is. So I ordered a set of strut bearings from FCP Euro, got them, and was going to swap them out. And I stripped this really annoying nut. Like, seriously, curse the German engineer who designed this. It's like a weird half castle nut. It requires this weird specialty tool. And if you put too much force on it, it gives up. So anyway, I stripped that, and now my car was on a jack stand. And honestly, I was about to just leave it there, like I've left many other projects to die. But it's the RS2. So headed in, went to fcpeuro.com, found the part. Because they had it in Arizona, they were able to overnight it to me. Boom, I had it the next day at my farm. Got the car back on the road. It was awesome. FCP Euro most likely has the parts you need and can get them to you pronto, you know, so you can keep driving the cool cars. That's what matters. We're back.
All right, what do we got here? Best summer whip, boys.
It is the
Where
middle of the
Here?
summer. Yeah, I mean, summer places, not Wisconsin. I don't know.
I don't
I mean,
know.
summer
Summer whip in
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
is
right, yeah. Elkhart Lake in it.
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got? You want? Should we put a price tag on it?
Yeah, we got to narrow
Like,
that down.
Under 15 grand, or
Okay.
like you're picking up just for the summer?
Yeah, it
You
depends
start.
where, though. That's what I'm saying. If we're at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, I'd probably get like an Eldorado convertible. I'd try to get maybe an E30. Like, I would get a convertible, 100%.
Yeah.
Nice cruiser. If we're in California, I'm getting some good AC in the summer.
Oh,
Like
see
I
what
wouldn't
you're
get, I
saying.
wouldn't get a convertible in
I've seen
California.
like if it was Florida, you're like, yeah, it's not a convertible.
yeah. So it depends where. Where are we cruising? Here? We could just go here because it's easy.
I mean, honestly,
I'll hit you with the one. I don't even know what the hell the thing's called, but it's just so random. Is the was it a Ram pickup truck that had the convertible top?
the drop
Ram
top.
Charger.
No, that was a Dakota, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Dakota.
Yeah,
the
the Dakota.
Jay Slack had one.
Oh, God.
Jay Slack had one. The convertible Dakota.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything cooler than a convertible pickup mini truck driving around in, unless it has like
No.
a dancing bed. That's a pretty cool summer whip.
Yeah.
And I would need the convertible side because I don't fit in a small body like that. So
I would say a bikini top K5 on boggers if we're doing Midwest stuff.
yeah, I can't
Or
believe
actually
we
here,
got
like,
2 trucks on the list already.
Easy. I'm going to break that. Summer whip,
Under 15 grand.
Fox body Mustang.
Ooh.
Just put an X pipe on it and an E cam.
both convertible and hard
and
top.
just whatever. And just
in
cruise at me.
in that aqua color, the Calypso
Yeah.
green.
Oh, yeah.
Any tan,
Calypso green,
white.
an Italian flag
Yeah.
emblem on the back.
Nothing says summer like the startup of a 302 Windsor.
Yeah.
Really good
You got
sounding.
Flowmasters on there?
oh my
Gotta
God.
have Flowmasters.
Yep. That'd be my summer whip, honestly. Like
Just-
that's like what.
Some rusty BBK shorty headers.
Yeah.
Some kind of crazy 3-spoke just chilling.
Yeah, I love it.
Although I do really like a Mustang a Fox body GT with the plastics on BBSs. Like
Yeah,
that's a
very-
cool,
very
like
90s
very
New York
90s
hip-hop.
New York hip hop
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a good look.
So I'd
Yeah.
fuck with that too.
Yeah. All right. Am I on this next? Here we go. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay. This is we kind of touched on this a little bit before. Is bring a trailer market manipulation happening? Like, do we think it's really happening? I don't know if you've noticed.
100.
I don't know if you're in the same feeds that I'm in,
Yeah.
where everyone's talking about dealer manipulation.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you explain to people what it is? Because
So I'll start it off by saying that, like, one, good deals do happen on Bring a Trailer, and some cars really do sell for a lot of money. But you could clearly tell. I mean, I saw the same reel you probably saw, which is like prices jumping a ton by people who have never actually won an auction. You know,
Yeah.
cars getting bid up crazy amounts only to hit no reserve, didn't meet reserve and stuff like that. So it's like there's a lot of nonsense that goes on there. I think it's pretty brazen because like you see it and it's so easy to track, and like you look at these buyers or like bidders who have hundreds of bids and no wins.
Well,
They always seem to lose by just a couple thousand
But
bucks.
also the huge difference between bring a trailer and let's say like a Barrett Jackson or a Mecum is with Barrett Jackson or Mecum, you give them your car and the title, and then they transfer the car to the other person. With a bring a trailer or similar auction sites, at least to my understanding, like they don't ever check to see if the car was sold.
Yeah.
They just get their fee. So like you have to prove that for some reason they backed out. So when I sold my Cayenne on Bring a Trailer, like I paid them they get paid the fee from I guess the seller side or whatever, and then the buyer side, and then the car gets and then the person pays me and I ship the car. So like they don't actually know if it got sold.
They're just brokering a private
So
party
apparently
transaction.
what's happening is like you're like, hey, I'm going to sell you my Z06. You're going to buy it for 150 grand because we're going to start market manipulation. And it's worth it for us to pay the percentage to bring a trailer because we're a dealer that just sells these cars. And if we get enough of them going, people start saying, hey, look at the comps on that car, and it raises the whole market
Which honestly,
value.
because
and
I
it's
think
worth
the-
it for the $5,000-$10,000 you might lose on the
I think the
on
market
thing.
gets stupider and stupider because like the consumer literally just everyone knows if you're going to see how much a car's worth, you just go and bring a trailer, scroll it and move on.
Yeah.
But they don't look at all the nuances with like everything, spec, mileage, accidents, whatever, like there's so much that goes into buying a car.
Have you ever bought anything off Bring a Trailer?
Yeah. I bought my first GT3 off Bring a Trailer while I was on a conference call at Hoonigan.
Oh, the black one?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was a Bring a
I
Trailer.
got a great deal on it and I sold it to a dealer for more than I paid for it a couple months later to trade for my
for the
RS. So
RS,
like,
yeah.
I think you do get good deals on Bring a Trailer. I think there's real sells out there and stuff. I do think there's a lot of bullshit too, though. But I mean, that happens at auctions too, though.
Everywhere.
So because the thing is if you're a dealer, right, and you go to Barrett Jackson, whatever, you could pay the fee, but guess what? You don't have to pay the taxes on it, and then you could just reassign the car and wholesale it to someone else. So like, if you want to, before Bring a Trailer was so public, like dealers were doing this shit anyways. Like you could do it. It doesn't matter.
We had this conversation with when Chazzy came on with Ron, and I referred to it as like automotive gentrification.
It sucks.
It has gotten to the point where just like rich people have just ran the value of regular cars up. Like it's one thing for expensive cars to be ran up, but like now just regular cars are expensive.
I mean, I just think it's a shame because you look at all, like I said, they're not making super cool new cars.
So
like,
we're all chasing the same.
We
thing.
all have this small, like finite amount of vehicles, and
Yeah.
people are like pretending they're art and they're like trying to collect them, and it's like just drive the fucking car.
I compared it to like turning 25 and realizing that the girls that you were chasing at 25 were also being chased by 45-year-old dudes who had like a lot of money, and you're like, wait, why am I now competing with like 3 decades of men?
Yeah.
I remember that exact feeling when I first moved to Los Angeles, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Dude,
You're like, this guy's got 2 houses and a Ferrari.
Yo,
Like, I took a cab here.
My buddy was just bidding on a car on Bring a Trailer, and he goes, fuck, your friend is bidding on it too. And I knew my friend didn't really, like, he's got enough,
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll call him. So I had to call him and be like, yo, can you stop bidding on that car? Like, I know you're going to keep it for 3 months and sell it. My friend really wants one, and he's like dying to find one. And he stopped because my friend had a budget. My other friend who was bidding on it has no budget.
Right.
Like he's
gonna.
rich.
I was just going to wipe my ass with this money and throw it, like, set it on fire
So
later.
it's like, but that's the thing. It's like you're in this like small pool of cars, and if you're bidding on it, like there's a dude who's got billions of dollars ready to spend, and you're like, I'm so close to my max budget. Like I got to get this thing done.
When I sold my 6-speed GTS, I called the guy. He was like, hey, yeah. He's like, oh, I want it. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was on a conference call, and I just like wasn't. I just was trying to buy something. He's like, I bought 7 cars today on Bring a Trailer.
Crazy.
I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I got like,
I bought mine
it's
on
crazy.
a conference call, but I had previously just driven by myself with a truck and trailer to San Francisco to buy one and was disappointed.
And passed on it, yeah.
And I drove back, and then I had been watching this. So like I did all my research and I knew what I was going to do. So I was just on a call while the bidding happened.
Damn, I remember that.
Yeah. I drove all the way up there, 5 o'clock in the morning, did a PPI in this guy's driveway by myself, and then walked away. Yeah. Happens.
It does.
Struggle.
All right, next one. Who's pulling? You pulling?
me?
Yeah, you're pulling this time. What do we have?
ACH drivers versus takeovers. What's worse for car culture?
Ooh,
Love it.
Oh boy.
Crazy comparison because takeover drivers are low credit score, low brain cell count. A lot of times, like people just looking to get into mischief.
Yeah.
Canyon drivers think they're high credit score, high brain cell, but
They're good drivers.
Yeah, but they're really the same people.
I'll actually say this because I just thinking about this. Most likely, a takeover car is only going to hurt other takeover people.
Ooh, yeah.
In the canyons, a very good chance you are going to kill a family driving, just going up for the weekend at ACH.
Both takeovers and people driving like idiots in the canyons are equally as bad for car culture because takeovers make police think that anyone with a loud car is a takeover car. Idiots in the canyons killing people, driving off the mountain, make police think anybody in the canyons in a fun car is going to kill someone.
I don't know if
or
it's just
drive
the
off a cliff.
algorithm, but I feel like once a week I'm watching some expensive 911 get dragged up 300 feet.
I was
going
to say, how many GT3 RSs have
been just written off down that mountain?
Oh my God, guys, this is like a Seinfeld episode. It just goes back to the beginning of what cars are going to pop, whichever one gets driven off the most cliffs or crashed into the most people. So the next two cars that are going to pop,
G35s and GT3 RSs.
992 GT3
Put your
RS.
money into it
They
right
made
now.
5,000 of them. There's 150 left. All have been crashed.
There's 7 G35s available. One's in Nebraska, and the old lady's about to die.
Yeah, you want any manual or automatic G35 or E46 330, all gone.
We know that Ashley's G35, which I sold to you, and you sold to Fish. I can almost guarantee you that thing is in a takeover in Chicago right now.
It has been in multiple takeovers by this point. Okay, let's face it here.
Its quarter panel looks like just crumpled.
It just has butt prints from just random people getting smacked.
But I do think that they're equally as bad because of what it gives the outward perception of to like law enforcement and everything. Because I love going to the canyons.
I love the canyons too.
But it sucks. Like
the crazy thing for me is the people who go to the canyons and they treat it like not just treat it like a racetrack, but they actually like wear helmets and shit. It's just so wild.
Yo, if you're pulling up in gloves and a fucking stilo,
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just like, just go and cruise, man. Like it's fun.
Yeah,
you know, like
I used to ride the canyons a bunch on my sport bikes, and
I used to do the snake back in the day.
Yeah, and like I could probably count like at least 10 times where like I almost got fucking murdered by somebody. Just like
it's not fun.
I will admit though, the one problem about motorcyclists on any canyon road is like they're like, my wheels are on my side of the road, my helmet's across the double.
Yeah, that's
yellow,
a crazy one.
That's your own fault if you're doing that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I've definitely had multiple times where like I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's fully in my lane, and like I'm gonna die, and it's like either like I can plow into this car or I can hit this side of the cliff or I can go off of a sheer.
But I will say it's like I was just at the Nürburgring, and a lot of people say that the tourist days there, which is like the open track days that happen every day, is just as bad. Because now,
I could see that.
But I mean, granted, that is a racetrack, so it's a little bit better. But they're like, people are fucking crazy,
really push.
Like people are just reckless. Like, I mean, people die there like every week. You know,
it feels different to me though because you kind of know what you're signing up for.
I
like
agree.
If you pull into the Nürburgring and you buy yourself a tourist ticket and you go in and someone hits you and you get hurt,
you feel like you were
signed
like,
up for it.
Yeah, I was kind of like,
if a family's like trying to go to a picnic up in ACH and gets fucking wrecked by someone in a GT3 RS because they think that they're fucking Mario Andretti, like not fucking cool. Like it just isn't. It's fucking insane. Yeah. I purposely grabbed the oldest name possible for that.
When I was in high school, this kid, Augie, had this like loud ass Mustang, and he like super nice house, and he comes sliding into his driveway all like hot, probably like just baked out of his mind, and his neighbor comes out. He's like, "Who the fuck thinks they're Mario Andretti?"
By the way,
like this is burned into my skull.
I will tell you, I heard that my whole childhood because I grew up in an Italian neighborhood. Well, fuck, you think you are Mario Andretti? So yeah, there's that. But no, I think that part's like, and I know like there's all this beef right now with whatever Canyon Carver and all those things everyone's talking about. It's always in my feed, but it's like I also don't understand the reason that people drive the racing line on a road like it's a tarmac road. Part of the reason I enjoy the canyons is I like driving curves. Like, it kind of defeats the purpose, but whatever. It's neither here nor there. No, the ACH thing is like a problem.
It sucks. I love going to ACH, and I don't really want to go anymore.
Yeah. I go to my own private canyons that I don't tell anyone about because there's no one there. It's pretty sick.
Sick. Drop that pin, bro.
Yeah. All right.
Well, this is a great time for an ad.
Heatwave just created my favorite sunglasses of all time, the Easy Rider Photochromic. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I've learned to really value what yellow lenses can do for your vision when you're driving at night in your 40s. And look, I get it. Yellow lenses, they can be a little dorky unless you're cosplaying as the operator from Sicario. But with these, they actually transition to look like regular shades in the sunlight, letting you stealthily blend right in. So anyway, thanks Heatwave for making these for me. I guess they actually made them for everybody. Go find yours at heatwavevisual.com. When you have Zach in the house, why would you do your own ad reads?
That's right. Listen here, people. Have you ever been snugging down the last bolt on that brand new polished valve cover or wrinkled black intake manifold only to slip and scratch it? Yeah, it sucks. That's why Wera brought out the Comfort Series. It's a ratchet completely encapsulated in coated plastic sleeve. This is the same 80-tooth ratchet that allows a 4.5-degree swing angle you'd expect from Wera. It's an ultra-slim design, plus a button retention system to keep that socket in place. And for those of you in climate-challenged conditions, well, the polymer sleeve will actually keep the temperature under control. Now, you can find this and many other innovative implements at weratools.com.
If you haven't noticed, Quiet Wealth is in, Flash is out. And the folks at KW understand. They now offer the classic line. Think the KW suspension you've learned to love and trust, but now in all black. The perfect subtle flex. Plus, if you're trying to fly under the radar with, say, your future in-laws, you could pass these off as OEM, because after all, you are an adult, right? Anyway, find them and plenty other applications at kwsuspensions.com. And we're back.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, new Grand Tour. Will it work? Here's my thought. Probably not.
Do you know much about it?
I don't know much about it, but
it's the guy with the train.
It's the train kid. And it is the guys from Throttle House.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like the train kid, watching him see 2102
and how excited
and
he
its
was.
Explosive wheel slip may be my favorite video ever to grace the internet.
His GoPro angle of himself.
I love it. Yeah, like because he knows it. He has to know. He looks insane.
It's so good.
I'm gonna need you to show me this because I'm completely out of the loop.
All right, we'll have to
41-14 big boy coming through.
Well, it's funny because he went. Tony Angelo went to go watch it too because I saw him post about it and I was like, "Oh, sweet, you're there with Train Dude."
So here's my thought on that. Like, you're trying to reboot something, but it's like at the end of the day, both Top Gear and the Grand Tour was all about the cast. It's like it's really hard to like you're trying to pull from that.
This is the dude, and this is the camera angle. Yeah. I will say, like,
he is so funny though, dude.
The stuff he's done
excitement.
with Chris Harris is fantastic. Like he's done a whole train series with Chris Harris, and it's like him and Chris in the same room together are like the perfect yin yang. Like the energy works.
Yeah.
So
Let's see. I love Chris Harris.
yeah, he's
Like
great.
best automotive like journalist.
bar
bar
none.
And I feel like, he probably should be leading whatever show that they're trying to, if it's going to be a British car review show, like it should probably always start with Harris.
I don't know. I just think it's tough because like the original Top Gear was so sick. You just can't make the same show.
No.
And I mean, this is Grand Tour, which is a different version, but still the same show. I think they just should have made. They should have said, hey, we're going to name it something else.
Yeah.
We're going to create a different show. It shouldn't be 3 people. Because the minute you put 3 people together, you're going to get that comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we, as Hoonigan, did a 3-person adventure show, everyone would call it Top Gear for YouTube or whatever, right? And like, but if you got out there and said, hey, we're going to go do it as Top Gear, like you're competing with the gods.
Yeah.
Like I'll often hear people, talk on YouTube of like, oh, this person ripped this person off or this person took this idea.
Everyone's
it's like we
done
all
everything.
ripped off Top Gear.
Yeah.
Everybody ripped off Top Gear. Roadkill ripped off Top Gear. Everybody ripped off Top Gear. It's like they were the ones to do it first, right? And it's like they took the magazine format and put it into video in a way that really worked. And they just have amazing chemistry. They did it for the first couple seasons, but then they fucking got there and it was great. And I think putting anyone in a show like that is sort of setting you up to fail.
Yeah.
And I don't really know the Throttle House guys. I watched one episode they did with like a AE86 and a GTI, and I was like, it was interesting.
But like I'm speaking from a point of like I don't know who the people are, right?
Yeah.
But like I do know that like you are exactly what you said. You're going up against. You're immediately putting yourself in a position where now you're just going to get compared to this thing that everybody loved, right? These people that everybody loved.
Where do they put this stuff out?
That's
Me not knowing where stuff programming goes. Is it on television?
This is like it's Grand Tour, so it's on Amazon Prime. But like this is a huge conversation in certain circles, and I feel bad for these dudes because I think all of them are great presenters.
Yeah,
but they're getting like wrecked already. Like it's not even out yet, and people are like, "Nah, these dudes aren't it. Like why are they there?" And it's like it kind of sucks because it's such a great opportunity, but at the same time, like you're set up to fail.
The deeper question is with how. I don't want to say saturated YouTube is, but like with how much like high quality content that people put out on YouTube, do you think that a show like that exists on an OTT?
I think it could. If it's done right and like production, it's like, but it's got to have all the hits, what I mean? But like, again, you're going up against You're Not My Dad, right? Like that's the first thing you got to overcome.
Honestly, we should just end it on that. Sorry, guys. You stepped up, but you're not my dad. I wish them the best of luck. I would love for it to work, but yeah, you're not my dad. Who's next? Am I pulling this on this one? All right, man, we're moving through this, guys. We might have to add some more things here. Favorite unexpected mod you have made to a car?
Oh, dude, I know this one for.
Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you just did something, and then you were like, "Wow, this was actually great."
The fucking E-Flex kit I did on my Raptor.
This is a paid promotion brought to you by Zach Mertens.
No. I mean, those dudes are rad.
Wait,
but like,
did they make that for my GMT?
Yeah.
Oh my God, please, let's do it.
So is it like,
it's literally like a plug and play. It's like a box and then it plugs into your injectors and then you run like a ground and then, dude, it just does the work for you, but you can just convert your shit to E85. And it's crazy how much better.
It's like $2.90
it's
right now.
$1.95 in Seal Beach.
What?
I just filled the Raptor up.
I've been driving my GTR because it's on E85.
Yeah,
because gas is so expensive here.
But you don't get as good a fuel mileage.
No, dude, my Raptor gets better fuel economy on fucking E85 because it doesn't have to shift as much. I don't have to put my foot into it as much. It's crazy.
It's crazy that you can use code ZAC15 to get 15% off your Flex.
Actually, you can use code CHOPLOR and get 25% off. Go to eflexfuel.com. No, but regardless of any of that, like I didn't expect. I had no expect. Like I was like, whatever. I'll do it, because I was curious, but I set it up. I was like, listen, I am going to shit all over this if it sucks. So if you're cool with that, I'll do this episode. But it was just one of these, I was like, if it sucks, I'm going to talk about it. And they're like, that's fine. And I was like, bet. Because I was expecting it to be like not good.
Yeah.
And then I was pissed that it works so well because like now, like I'll take and sometimes fill like normal 91 or 87 in the Raptor, just to, like, keep it cleaned out. And it's like going from having a 300 shot of nitrous on your car and then having to drive it naturally aspirated.
I will admit, I was seriously looking at like flex fuels just because gas is so expensive now in California. And then instead I bought a fucking S8 that gets like 12 miles to the gallon. But I was looking at like Ford like Explorers, especially the ex-cop cars.
Yeah.
Those are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like those are all flex fuel cars. But flex fuel cars are actually up in value right now because I think everyone's like, yeah, I want to spend $2 on gas.
So what engine swap was your most unexpected mod?
You go first.
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't know. The most unexpected mod. You know what's like a really weird one for me? And like I think it's an aesthetic mod, and then every time I do it to a car, I realize it completely converts a car for me. Aftermarket steering wheel. Like in an older car, if you put an aftermarket steering wheel in, and like automatically you just have like a different connection with the car. Like my shitty Audi 200, like that ugly wagon that you guys all love and hate. Like that thing has an aftermarket wheel in it, and it just makes it feel sporty. Like,
you don't think about it, but it's like that's the thing you're interacting
it's the one
with
thing
the
you're
most
touching. I know.
In a vehicle.
Yeah.
That and a shifter, if you have 3 pedals.
Well, nowadays, if you put it in a car with airbags, you can go to jail.
I guess.
What?
I guess.
Yeah, California is like especially San Diego. They're cracking down on replacing steering wheels.
It's like a felony now.
Yeah. For removing your airbag.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Let us die like men.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I don't know. I really can't put my finger on it. I'm gonna just name something really dumb I did recently that was really fun. Mark IV Supra,
Mm-hmm.
horrifically boring car, even though it's a twin turbo car. And Jolly was convinced that you shouldn't smash your ball valve to make it flutter. And I just hit it with a hammer a couple of times, crushed the
This sounds like an
diaphragm in,
amazing mod.
and now it flutters and surges and sounds awesome. And I was like, it took literally ball-peen hammer, bang, bang.
Where do you hit it in the
Right on the top. I'm like, 'cause it's like a metal diaphragm. So
Uh-huh.
all it is putting more pressure on the spring and like having less place for it to like open up. So now it flutters and stuff. Sick.
You know,
Nice.
It's like a $0.
$0, zero
Hype
effort,
mod.
no brain power needed.
I mean,
You
yeah.
didn't even take it off. It's right on the top of like the turbo on the intake side right there. Just
I mean, honestly, you could go to Cars and Coffee and perform it for other people. Just roll in with a ball-peen hammer and
Who wants to
give
come
them
to-
a little flutter job, you know?
yeah, Vinnie's flutter jobs. Come in, we'll smash your bob.
Smashing bobs. That's it. 188 smash bob.
I just be smashing dudes' bobs. That's how I got rich.
They call me ball-peen Vinnie.
Oh my God.
Alrighty.
That's actually
This
really
is the
good.
last one, and we're not even at an hour yet. I'm gonna have to add some questions. Last time it took us like in 2 hours to get
So
through.
hot though. It's so hot.
Bro, yeah. 2029 Dodge Copperhead thoughts. What the fuck is this?
Have you guys not seen this? The Copperhead?
Wait, is it 2029?
yeah,
How long
how did we get
how long have we been here? It's like they said it was only an hour.
The Copperhead is Dodge's. They're not calling it the replacement for the Viper, but
Wait, can we
It
pause about this
is-
while you look for this? Can we talk about something else? Is Dodge really just giving away Challenger EVs? I saw Cletus bought one for 50% off. That's hilarious.
dude?
I know.
Nobody nobody wants an EV sports car.
So I'll go some history here. This is the Dodge Copperhead 1997 concept, right? So they made this as
It's
a
like
concept.
a Plymouth Prowler meets a
Yeah,
Pontiac
it was
Solstice.
definitely the Prowler era, right? So they made that as the as that, but now they're saying that they are bringing it back. So this is obviously like an artist interpretation of it, but I guess they've shown it to people, but without allowing them to take photos, and it is going to be ice because it does have tailpipes.
It is. It's
And-
like giving GTD.
And what they asked I guess Kaniskus of like, you know, what the platform of it is, and everyone thought it was going to be on like a Charger platform, but everyone's thinking it's on a Gran Turismo platform,
What is that?
Maserati,
Oh, it's like
because Stellantis, so that it's actually more of like a proper Grand Tourer.
yeah.
So like independent rear.
Yeah.
I would prefer if they made it a bit smaller.
Yeah.
Because I think that's my big gripe with the GTD is it's just like a massive car.
I know.
Or like all Dodge.
Have you
performance
driven the
cars are very
GTD?
big.
Yeah.
You did? What'd you
Yeah.
think of it?
It's great. It's super cool. I do think that is a dual clutch trans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think like I talked about this when we bought our most recent F1 360, and I was like, F1 actually is pretty cool, like single clutch. I think the DCT is like PDK, and that it's like so good that it almost is
It's
too
too
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was so smooth that you see like inboard suspension and this big wing,
Yeah.
crazy vents, and you're like, I don't know, I kind of want this transmission to like clunk around a bit.
A new
You know,
a new theme on this podcast is the concept of like friction is good in life.
Yeah.
Like the idea that like everyone, once things get too easy, you don't remember them, and like a little bit of friction's good. And I think like
I remember
cars have
driving-
gotten so good that you don't feel anything anymore.
Yeah. And that like it's still raw, but you know,
Yeah.
the GTD, the weird thing is it's got these really nice, comfortable Recaro reclinable seats,
Yeah.
but they're like too comfortable for it, you know, and like everything feels a little like soft
It's
on
just,
the edges.
It's just everything's no friction.
Yeah,
Use-
like if
Bring back the aluminum Kirky.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I
You
don't know. You
add-
just want a little bit more friction.
yeah. You use too much lube. Sometimes you just
Yeah.
don't feel a thing.
I was driving
Clip that.
I was driving the most stereotypical me douchebag car, which is a 991.1 GT3 RS PDK, and I like it because the transmission sounds like it's like blown up all the time. It like clunks and makes like gear noises, and like it's so like loud. I like it. It feels
Yeah, I agree.
it feels like really raw.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, that's cool.
Although I will say I had to go to a MagnaFlow event the other weekend, and I was going to take the Ferrari. I invited you to come. You bailed. And for good reason. It was fucking a scorcher too. And then I looked at the traffic update, and it was like a 2-hour drive, and I was like, yeah, I'm not taking the F1 trans. Because in traffic, my van. Because, well, the S8 was, I don't know why I took it.
I would have rolled with you in something. I didn't feel like driving anything down to San Diego.
I had to take a car with air conditioning, but just like in traffic, the F1 trans is brutal. It's not fun to drive.
No, you just have to be very attentive.
Yeah. I didn't know you drove the GTD.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thanks
for watching my content.
I didn't know you drove the GTD.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching his content.
Thanks, Zach. I know exactly what you did on the Camaro, but
Name 3 other guests that have been on this podcast in the past month. Not JP Kramer.
TJ Hunt, Adam LZ.
That was like 2 months ago, but whatever.
I don't know what cadence they come out. They're long. It takes me a long time to listen to them.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't expect any of my friends to listen.
I try to listen.
Because you have to listen to me in person.
Yeah.
Why would you listen to me not in person?
I try to listen to them, but like a 30-minute video on YouTube takes me like a day to get through. Because like I watch them like in bits, when I'm like bored, I like turn on YouTube and I pick up a video. So the pods are just long. They'll be open on my browser and then the next one comes out. I'm like, oh shit.
So I just really like Brian over talking people. So I'll listen.
Yeah, that's what this whole fucking show's about. I've actually gotten better, but with you guys, it's a fucking every man for himself. Let's be honest. Yeah. You have to understand the way we talk is the reason I am the way I am, because we all are talking at the same time. And then like I bring someone else in who is not skilled in the combat of conversation. And sometimes I walk all over them.
If you don't write a book called The Combat of Conversation,
that would actually be hilarious.
Yeah, you should come to my house for Thanksgiving. So, all right, so we ran through all the topics, but luckily I have backup topics.
I have one too. You know what really grinds my gears?
He said I could leave early. I have to wake up so early.
Yeah, me too. I got to go up to Oxnard.
All right. What do you got as a topic? You got a topic?
How about cars narking on you now?
Oh, yeah. I talked about this one. We've talked about this a couple times, but it's going to be really bad.
Yeah.
Basically, any car, people have different year cutoffs. Some people think you have to go back as far as when OnStar started being released in cars. But other people think that like 2019, like when auto like became, when they could control if a car is like lane changing and things like that, they're like all modern cars will just be at the control of law enforcement.
Oh yeah, I mean also too like even earlier cars like 2019 earlier, right?
Yep.
Like I believe there's a case where they had to like they deposed and had to come up with all this, but it was like. They're pumping out something like 40 gigs of data a day on like all of the telemetry that's going on in your vehicle. I guarantee it's all going to start being used against you as far as like your insurance cost, or like they're going to start overreaching and it's going to be like, oh, you're going to jail because you broke the speed limit this many times.
You live in way more of a conspiratory world than I do. No. Don't take this as a knock. You live deeper down that path than I think I do. What are some of the greatest conspiracy theories you're hearing right now about all of this? Because I've seen some rabbit hole shit.
Well, so look, it's the ability now for AI to decipher through all of the data, right? And being able to link multiple things, right? Whether it's, flock cameras, right? Like, so that can basically, you pass through them a couple times. And it's like it can, create a profile.
It even knows the scratches on your car, even if you don't have the plates on.
The signal trace, right? So it's like they can coordinate your cell phone data, your smartwatch stuff, even like Bluetooth headphones, anything Bluetooth, like your computer that might be in your car every time you're driving, right? Whatever. It can link that to it too. Then you can now all the telemetry and stuff that's on your car that's, especially if you drive like a Tesla or something like that is just a rolling narc, right? All the camera stuff, like all of that data can be compiled into a case against you and your habits, right? And let's say, like, I think most people don't realize, like, you probably break the law like 100 times a day,
like little BS infractions, driving, not signaling, like dumb stuff.
We're really moving towards I watched Demolition Man for the first time in like 15 years the other day, and I was like, I remember watching it as a kid and being like, that's ridiculous. And then I watched it I was like, holy shit, this is exactly where we're going.
And Minority Report.
Yeah.
Where you're getting like arrested for pre-crimes.
Exactly. And it's already like, so seeing what's happened in Australia, right? Like Australia is a fucking police state.
It's a nanny state. Yeah.
It's not as bad as China, and like in the EU, it's pretty bad too, right? Like, but all of this stuff is like coming very fast to the States, and like people are gonna start getting like, for instance, the Camaro I have, right? Like the original owner got a letter saying that like, cause he had just like re-registered it, right? And then sold it to me. And he was like, yeah, I was like, listen, it's going to be going under the knife. I'm not really driving it right. He got a letter in the mail saying, it's like, oh, well, yeah, we can see that you don't have insurance on this vehicle. So like your registration is canceled, right? Effective immediately. More stuff like that's going to start happening where it's like, oh, you were driving 5 miles an hour over the speed limit here, here, and here. Like, here's your list of like fines you have, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got a ticket in Poland last month for like average speed over a distance.
Yeah.
And in the UK, they have that, but there's signs that say like, I forgot what they call it.
Yeah, like
But it's like
the zones,
like speed, like average speed zone enforced.
They have that in Australia too.
Yeah. So in Poland, it was like over 20 kilometers. I was going 12 kilometers over the speed limit. That sucks.
I think one thing that it's either going to have to change where the laws change. But I think we all, at least as Americans, we accept a certain amount of criminality in our day.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Like, we're all going to speed. Nobody on the 405 does 55 or 65 miles an hour. Like 90 is the standard speed on the 405.
If it's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
0 or 90.
0 or 9 or 90, right? That's pretty much what you do. And cops don't pull you over. They won't pull you over unless you're doing 96 miles an hour and you're the fastest one in the group.
Yeah.
And like, there's just this like rule in society of like, hey, you got to break a few laws. It's okay. And every once in a while you get caught and it's like paying a tax for it. But the minute that you have hyper surveillance, now there is no such thing as breaking laws anymore. So now either all the laws have to change and we have to say, guys, we've all been driving 80 to 90 miles an hour on the 405, so that clearly should be the speed limit. The fact that we have an antiquated speed limit to cars technology 60 years old. We've had the same speed limit for however long. You see Utah, Texas, they've all raised the speed limit because of this. That'll either be forced and then you say, okay, you're now allowed to do, like on the Autobahn, you can do this, but if you break the law, like, oh, fuck, you're going to jail.
Right.
Yeah.
But like where we're at now, it's like if you actually tried to hold all the laws to the letter of the law in America, you begin to realize that most of our laws are pretty antiquated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think so that's the other
In
thing
traffic
too,
purposes.
where it's like, most people don't realize how often you break the law, right?
Yeah.
But like when it comes down to the AI stuff or like a computer being like, it's black or white, it's 1 or 0, right? So like, did you break the law or did you not? So it's like when people start getting, I wish I had this, like I need to save this article, but like there was a town so basically their average rate, and I'm like but it was something like in the thousands of like, that's how much money they were.
Oh, they
like,
made $7 million in like a week or something. I saw that. Yeah.
It was thousands of % more because it was all these like tickets basically being mailed to people because it's like, so that's what's going to come down the pipeline. And if like we don't all do something about it, well, I mean, it's very clear that there's some like city council people getting greased, just let's slide these cameras in, you know what I mean? Because like it's going to make a bunch of money, but it's already on the backs of everybody. And all the other costs are rising too, you know what I mean? That's just a bad stew.
I mean, America's just a baby of a country. So, we've got a couple revolutions in us until we catch up to, like China and Europe and stuff.
Or we just become one big data center.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, next topic. What do you guys got?
Will Brian actually get his cars running to?
I mean, we could just, if you want to talk about my cars, I think I've had I've come to the realization that I'm not going to finish them all.
We talked about this a year
I
ago.
know.
So I mean, like, are you doing something about it? Are you selling any of them? Are you working on any of them?
I'm working.
Nah. It's not gonna do
I
anything.
just kind of gave up. Yeah, I just
Or you
pretty
just
much
accepted
yeah.
where your place in life is?
Yeah, I don't have the same motivation that it's like. It used to be different. Like it was the end of the day at work at Hoonigan.
You're
people
not
wrench on my
lying to
car.
yourself anymore about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just sort of accepted my fate.
Because I'm pretty sure the entire decade I've known you, and we've always made the running joke that like Brian's dream would be to own basically a junkyard. Like
Brian
actually do. I think I've realized that. I own a junkyard. I mean, there's no joke in the fact that we call it Avocado Farm and Salvage.
But Brian's like trying to play this all like, gave up. It's whatever. Last night, I received a photo of Brian Scotto's engine for his next project victim.
Things are
The
still
rabbit.
Yeah.
So like
that's
you're
fun.
still building stuff.
Yeah.
Acquiring.
No, I'm not really. I'm trying not to acquire anymore. Although
You
I did
just bought a car.
2 cars, but whatever.
But what are you gonna finish the rabbit or are you just gonna take it apart?
No, I have to finish it because like Treff Punks. I'm very good deadline oriented. I need deadlines. I am. I can do a good car for a deadline, but the deadline has to require.
Your deadline's too close to do what you wanted to do. You're not gonna paint that car and the engine bay and stuff in a month.
I think I will.
In a month.
This is how I work.
Okay.
Are we taking a trip to Tijuana so you can get this car painted?
No, I'm making Batim paint it.
Oh my God.
But he only has 1 boot, so the car's got to move through kind of fast over there.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
we'll
love
see.
How much are you going to put this man through? You gave him a heart attack, all right? Leave the man be.
I'm gonna make him paint my car.
In a week.
Hey, how much is your rent here at this shop? 60 grand a month. Hey, let's slide this thing in. Fill a couple holes in it.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, bodywork this thing too, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So what's on the list for you? What do you got? What are you going to finish this year car wise?
I'm selling the B150 to Solomon. I don't know if he's ever gonna come get it.
Okay.
But, like I've kind of written that off already.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the problem for me is like I love all my children.
Yeah.
Because the minute like I'll like open the shed on like the Nova, and I'm like, oh my God, like I gotta get this thing back up and running.
Yeah.
And then I go and I just pull this around the block, and I'm like, I probably should fix the headliner in here.
Right.
15
But then you just
years.
forget about it after like.
Yeah, then you just move on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So-
I just sold a car, like I sell cars obviously, but I sold a personal car, and then I'm like trying to get my
What'd you sell?
the Skyline,
Wait, already?
the 34.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, I think I'm gonna get rid of a bunch of stuff. I feel like so bogged down by cars. Like I feel like I have a Supra that I need to swap front tires and like put a climate control unit in for the last 4 months.
Damn.
Like I feel like I just don't have time to do like pleasure car stuff anymore, and it kind of kills me. So I want to whittle down my cars so I could only like really focus on a couple and like enjoy them.
I tell myself that, but then I just can't.
Yeah.
Like I think like, man, how nice would it be to have like just 10 cars, maybe 12, where like they all kind of work.
It's an insane situation to say. Like
versus like I don't even know the real number of cars I have because I just stopped counting, and
that's an insane move.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, I think I could take care of 4.
yeah,
Like 4 is probably absolute maximum of like ability to keep cars on the road driving in good shape. I saw your eye just twitch when I said that. 4, you were like, that's it. What do you?
I don't even know. Different things for different people. But I think for me, I don't know.
Broken. There's a broken man trying to find a purpose.
It's like
this is like when you're at your uncle's house and you're just finding crack pipes and like stuff behind.
Well, I'll say this, and I'll admit this, and it's a tough thing to admit, but like as I'm older now, I don't have the same energy to work on shit. So I'll like go out to the farm and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this done, and I get like not even a third of what I thought I was gonna get done, and then I just go to bed. Where like old me was like, I don't sleep, I'll get it done, and like that's how I push through a lot of builds that way. I don't have that.
Have you considered amphetamines?
Welcome to Meth Performance.
Listen, we're getting stuff done here today, okay? It doesn't matter how deep we go down the rabbit hole. Listen, you know, I'm sure you could stop by a truck stop somewhere.
Weaker tuning.
Yeah.
Let's get it going. Yeah, I don't know. I dream about, I don't know what it is, but once a car is almost like finished, or I just have a little bit more, I start dreaming about the car that needs everything. Like, I don't know what that is.
Well, I've been begging you. I said we would do a boys' night to rebuild those red wheels to get these horrific things off the RWB.
Yeah. Still hasn't happened.
Just do it.
I also got a
we
full
were supposed to do
schedule for the
in
Nova.
March for Nova, and we never did it.
You're going to do it?
I was going to
Dude,
do
I
it. And I
love
got,
that.
and,
Zach should rebuild the Nova.
That's what I said. I bring it over there and just. I mean, it doesn't. It literally just needs finishing touches, and it also needs probably the entire fuel system cleaned out because it's filled with fucking 15% ethanol. So.
Yeah. Damn, Zach, that's a good rehab project.
I
Damn,
know.
Zach just be rebuilding dreams.
We had a whole episode where we talked about this, and it never happened. So,
Whose fault?
whose fault do you think it is?
Both.
It's actually a little bit of both. It's a little both because I was ready and Zach wasn't, and then that was it. I missed my window. Yeah, I was on to something else.
I got a transport guy will pick that thing up, drop it off his shop for $300.
I've been asking for that car to run for years because it's always it's just always been badass, and it is fucking cool.
I was talking to David Freiberger the other day on another pod, and talking to him, I was like, fuck, that thing was fucking cool. I really should get that thing back into motion. My buddy Tim, one of my childhood friends, came out from Queens, and he has no interest in any of my cars. And then when he heard that the Nova was at the farmer, he's like, is it running? He's like, oh, it's the only fucking cool car you have. All this shit's pussy shit. He was like, that thing's fucking cool.
I like Tim.
Yeah, I mean, Tim's like a barroom brawler. It's the Nova's the kind of car you expect him to walk out. It's he walks out, bottle in hand, flicks a cigarette, blows the bar up, drives away. That's his vibes,
Can you imagine Brian just ripping cigs in the Nova? What I would imagine 19-year-old Brian was like.
Yeah, that was definitely me then.
Yeah,
So.
it's fun because it's 6-speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my dad's car rips, but I don't know. I built that car as an auto for him, and I think it fits the car. But I don't know, big block and a manual transmission is pretty fucking.
Dude, that El Camino was it was so fun to drive. It's so sketchy because you just grab third and be like, I really want to get those cars together, man. Before
I know. Well, maybe I'll make my dad ship it out here.
Would you build another old school?
Nah,
No.
I'll do maybe a box Nova or a chill bagged cruiser, like a Caddy or a Lincoln. Well, I'm probably not a Lincoln; it's too typical, but an old 50s or 60s Cadillac milkshake era.
just 27 feet long, 2-door.
Have you ever? You've never actually had a muscle car. You've only had trucks, right? Old schools.
Yeah, I haven't. I always wanted one, but it was always out of my price point, and then I just.
And then you just drop $100,000 into trucks instead.
It's out of my price point. So I built this methanol and fucking.
Well, if you think about it, I got the truck really, really cheap, right? And then it just snowballed, and then all the parts,
Yeah.
So
No, trust me, bro. I am that math.
Yeah.
Vinny's I'm going to go out and buy a very expensive good car. And I'm I'm going to buy a shitbox and dump a very good car into that shitbox.
Exactly. I think there's just something really special about that. It's frustrating, and I hate myself for it.
Mm.
But my K5 got for $3,500. That Tahoe I got for I don't know, basically about the same. 35, $4,000.
Yeah, that's the perfect. I think sub $5,000 is the perfect project car.
Yeah, you can justify that extra 95 plus that's going into it.
Exactly. I mean, you could put 94,000 into it and still be under $100,000.
I just this is going to be.
And if you do it on different credit cards, it's hard to do the math and ever understand how much you paid for it.
I just don't like the current environment that I'm in to do project cars. I want to do a project
You have a
car.
shop.
Yeah, but YouTube is a beast, as everyone knows, and I don't want to build cars in a rush.
Is this when we just talk about how much we
No,
all
but
hate YouTube now?
all I'm saying is that I have no desire to build a car for YouTube because I want it to, when I get back into a project car, I want to do it, take my time, do it the way I want to do it, make it fun again. I used to love tinkering in my garage.
Yeah.
But now everything has to be on a schedule, and I don't really want to do builds like that. So I'm project cars just don't have a place in my life right now for that. But one day I'm going to build a car off content.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah. Or
There you go.
I'll make some stuff, but I want to just do something where I'm hey, if I get the motor in this month, cool. If I don't, I'm doing something fun on it, spend a month making a bracket. That's the build I dream of doing. It's just
You don't need to tell me. That's
yeah.
That is the dream.
Make a radiator duct that you don't see, and it takes takes
forever.
a month,
forever. Just
and Mike Burrows made a
That's
channel out of that, but
doing
he's
that.
built that over a decade of people who are down to watch.
and let's be honest, the type of content that Burrows does should be 1 million views, and it's not because he bounces all over the place, and he knows that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If he just worked on just the F40 project, he would have that audience.
Yeah.
But it's just that's not the way he wants to work. And I actually respect him for that because he accepts like this is what I want to do and I don't care. Like I have the audience I have.
But he's also he's a channel about like the super nerdy stuff, which is cool because like we talked about like engineering channels or like machinist channels where like you don't even see the dude, you just watch him like make stuff on a lathe and shit, and you're just like, this is sick.
Yeah,
but it's just a different style of content.
Yeah, if you found a handgun in a swamp and you want to rebuild it in front of me, oh man, you want to just clean that whole thing out and then like whittle a new wood handle for it. I'm watching. I'm watching ASMR too, please. No songs. I just want to hear the noise.
Like hardly editing, just cutting out the dead space.
I just want to hear. I just want to hear your camel filterless breath as you sit there, just whittling off the serial number of some murder weapon that you restored. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. By the way, Burroughs, his content's really good though. It's like the production value is really nice.
I think he's one of the better ones to do it.
Oh yeah,
it's really good. But I don't know if that's what YouTube wants anymore.
Whatever.
That's that conversation. Don't say that. No one's gonna watch now. That
no, not you. Not the people.
No videos.
Not the people.
Well,
I'm saying YouTube.
They're listening. Oh my bad.
The
algorithm's listening. You're right.
Is that a flock camera right there?
That is a flock. These are all flock cameras, guys.
That's actually a really good. You know what? Hey, if you want to up your production value, and not have to pay for cameras, right? You can actually cut those things down. You can rewire them and reprogram.
I actually had this funny idea of shooting a Gymkhana based on flock cameras. Like you're like, fuck it, we're just run the whole thing. Flock-Khana. And you're like, y'all filming it for us. So we're just gonna go do it.
And it's sponsored by Flock.
Yeah.
Yo, Palantir, get at your boy.
Yeah. It's sponsored by CHP.
Yeah, we need to get people on your side, right? And I think with a small donation of $300 to $400 million, we could pull this off.
Yeah.
Real well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's almost a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
It would also be a really great exit scam for you. Like we go in as a trio, we sell it $300 million, and we just leave the country. You never make the film.
The exit scam.
I love a good exit scam. Those are fun docs.
Yeah, you're like, and then next thing we knew, he was just living in Trinidad with 3 wives. You're like,
and a powerboat.
Always a powerboat. I was on a phone call today. And the girl who was on the call with me, she said, sounds like you're on like a speedboat. And I was like, I always want you to think I'm on a speedboat. Yeah. Like that's just the coolest
that you
thing.
think that's what my life is.
Yeah.
Speaking of speedboats, the first Apache.
I'm so happy you were able to figure out how to get this into this conversation.
It's for sale on Marketplace.
Drop it.
Listen, pull up Marketplace, look up Apache, and just type in cocaine Cowboys. This is a bad.
Wait, is it the actual?
This is an Apache powerboat from the 80s. It's number 1.
But is it a cocaine cowboy vehicle? Like, do we know it's a?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, if you haven't seen the documentary Cocaine Cowboys, it is one of the greatest documentaries, and it's almost like a 2-part doc. The first half, you're like, this is pretty interesting, and then the second half is like, holy fuck, this is wild. Everyone's gonna die. What do you got going on there? What do you got? What do we? What
is it?
Just Apache Warpath. I believe it's Warpath.
I mean, this is a very vehicular show. We can talk about boats. We don't talk about boats enough.
Might not be in this area.
Oh no, you got to go to South Florida.
Of course, you got to go to South Florida. Vinny, what were you thinking?
Yeah, why was I searching?
Why were you searching here?
Search Miami.
Yeah,
Dade.
Yeah, the cocaine business.
Yeah, you're on a 30-mile radius from Los Angeles.
That's how you know how bougie he's got. Because it's from my Marketplace starts in Bakersfield. Because I know where the shitbox deals are.
Wait, can we take a pause?
They all are up in Bakersfield.
Vinny just found a.
I just found a 997 turbo. Let me just I'll just hit him with a soft. Is it still available so I can get back to it later?
My God.
Okay, I'm back on fast.
Just type it.
This is real life, guys. This is real life. It's
not there, dude. It might have sold.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's a nice duck statue, though.
Here's the dead space.
Okay, listen. I just want to show you. Hold on. This is the listing. Hold on. The video's playing. The original number 1 triple engine, right? Boom. The cocaine cowboy legend. Ford Apache built, federally seized.
Sick.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much is it going for?
Dude, like only like $800,000, really.
Oh.
Yo,
only.
let's go fund this. Let's get people together for this one.
Listen, this is why you need to sign up for Brian's
Patreon.
page.
This is what Patreon's paying for, people.
Yeah, I think honestly
Patreon's
we can
paying for
all
this.
we can all agree that this is a worthwhile investment for your what was it
Yeah.
monthly?
And honestly, we're bringing cocaine back to America just to push the fentanyl out. I mean, it's like a charitable cause.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing it back.
It's only a
Colombians best.
3-seater.
Wait, what?
It's only a 3-seater.
Well, yeah, man, it's a race boat,
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
Trying to show.
Hey, it's got an engine per person.
That's sick.
that is pretty
Yeah.
sick. That's like a cool stat.
Yeah.
Like the old stat used to be like a horsepower per pound is like crazy.
Yeah, no.
So
One
they're
engine
like
per
the
person.
one engine per person
Yeah.
is what I want to be in.
Dude, so that's an NA boat, right? Triple engine. Only runs on C16. And the last dude, there's actually a write-up of a guy that was talking about like owning it when he bought it from a seizure. And he was saying that it burns like 130 gallons an hour per engine
Wow.
of C16. Think about that price. That's like $28 a gallon.
I mean, this was the conversation we had before where I realized I pay $1 a mile to drive my van.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you-
real wealth.
Yeah, you want to flex on people? You pull up in a just archaic power boat that was running drugs in the 80s, that basically changed the face of the earth.
Anyways, you should get a vanity plate that just says $1 per mile. Because that is ridiculous.
It's still one of my favorite.
should-
It's still one of my favorite.
You know what would
vehicles.
actually be a really fun episode for your channel?
What's that?
Mile per gallon wars with Brian. And you guys fill up your tank and rip your truck and van around and see who could burn the most fuel in the short amount of time.
At 0 to 60 magazine, when Honda dropped the new Insight, we took the Honda Insight and the Toyota Prius, and we tried to get the worst possible gas mileage we could in New York City. And every time we would get to a stoplight, we would just put it in neutral and just sit on the rev limiter. And we just drove around New York for 2 hours trying to see what was the worst possible gas mileage. And I don't think we got it like less than 19 miles per gallon.
Yeah. You guys should do a terrible gas mileage off. Come up with a good title and thumb. That'd be hilarious. Because your big block truck could probably get like sub 5. And if you're boosting the van, I'm sure that thing could get down to
just be on it the whole time. We just find a real tall
No,
hill.
you just have to do like
Just-
you fill it up and you go like who, and then you just run document a tank of gas, and then see who gets the worst gas mileage.
I mean, honestly,
Incredible.
the worst part is
I think it's a better thumbnail than it is the actual video, but yeah, I'm into it.
my new setup.
It's
gets
stupid
better
enough
gas
I would
mileage.
watch it.
But yeah, I'm down. You know what? I haven't.
If it's on his channel, he has to pay for the gas.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
It's like how you bought us dinner or drink.
Yeah.
Or,
I mean,
never mind.
you're drinking a drink right there, and come on.
That's water.
It's tap.
I still got to pay for it. It's California, and we don't get that water for free. We got to steal it from Colorado.
Oh, this has been fun, boys.
Oh no, we're not done yet. It's only an hour 30 in. These boys are going to keep going.
But I have kitty sweat.
You're
can't
actually
keep
I actually
going.
think you're starting to dry a little bit. If I've noticed this, you got no other topics? I should have written down more topics. I lost the time. I honestly, last time we did 10 topics, we went 2 hours. It's your guys' fault. It's your fault.
It's your fault. You don't have AC.
Yeah.
There is that.
Yeah. Why don't you sell some of these cars and get some AC in this thing?
Seriously.
Yeah,
You're telling me
we
you
need.
can't-
I think this could be one of the last pods we do in the garage because it is really hot.
New space coming soon?
Yeah, new space coming soon.
Oh,
I have some
right.
announcements coming soon. So
Wow.
yeah, we won't be able to talk about it till then.
New space, huh? Got room for a couple cars for free?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, you need some background, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I can't wait until Brian gets his own space. And it's like
I have my own space. It's called a farm.
no. See, I was thinking you get a warehouse big 86,000 square feet, every single centimeter packed with stuff.
I actually realized
stackers.
I have a new storage cheat code, which is tomorrow. This is going to the Lions Museum to just live at the Lions Museum for God knows how long.
Wow.
They wash it every week. I mean, honestly, it'll be treated better
Yeah,
there
yeah.
than it gets treated
I'm
here.
looking at the
Although it is
dust on your
clean.
back
No,
seat.
it's actually clean right now. The dust on the back seat isn't, but the car itself is clean.
Yeah.
I washed it the other day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lions Museum.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you haven't managed to finagle cars into the Peterson.
Yeah, it's just too far of a drive. The Lions is like not that far from my house. I can go get my car.
What is the
pretty easily.
Lions Museum?
It's actually a museum right next to Old Hoonigan in Compton.
We had
There's
car
a car
meet there once.
Yeah, there's a car museum.
They sell the sickest merch ever. Yeah.
So this isn't like the Lions, like the fraternity kind of
No,
deal.
it's the Lions drag strip. The old Long Beach Lions. Yeah. Yeah. So the previous owner of it like collected all of the Lions drag strip like memorabilia. Like he bought, I think like everything from like the stands to the signs to the Christmas tree, and he like had it in storage. And then he eventually got the space, and then he brought his whole car collection there. And then they have some other cars there.
Oh,
yeah,
sick.
Yeah.
Check
It's
that
actually,
out.
yeah, we've done a couple. We did like a Cars and Coffee there. You didn't come. I invited you, but you didn't show up. So anyway,
Had something going on.
yeah, definitely.
Dude, nice move. I like that.
Yeah, no, I was like, I feel like I've like elevated a status because like museum parking for cars.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So I mean, that might mean that you never see this car ever again.
Speaking of cars we don't that you park elsewhere for free, well, what's up with that the Coupe Quattro?
Hopefully, but Tim.
I don't know when was the
the
last time you were at BBI. I don't know. Someone else should tell me. I'll get tagged in a photo of that car at least once a week. Someone stops by BBI. It's in the showroom. I get tagged. I don't know. I've lost all interest in that car.
Man, 20 years down the drain.
I know. I scope creeped that car. I went way too far with it, and I just have no interest in it. I built a bad race car. Like I have no interest in driving it. It was really exciting while I was building it, and then I just lost interest. Here's a question. We'll turn it around because we always talk. Everyone always asks me what cars would you keep of mine? Like
easy. RWB, Nova, 360, RS2. Burn everything else on fire. Donate it to.
I would say that list.
children.
I would say that list plus the van, the E350.
Yeah,
van.
but that's not a car. That's like
but it's like it's a really great.
I like the Rabbit too.
and the Rabbit.
Yeah.
That would like if I had to like.
If you had to really slum it with
I had to
seven
really
cars,
slum it with only
with 7 vehicles.
just full poverty spec.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
that would be. I guess that would be it. So
Yeah, mine would be the Nova, the RWB, and the 360. I mean, the B100's cool, but it's just
that's already like on its way out.
Yeah.
That's already on its way out.
Yeah, I don't really like the van. Like it's too much. Just in
It's a
general.
lot.
Like
It's a lot.
it's like a really senseless vehicle.
Yeah.
And now that I know it gets 1 mile per gallon, I'm not.
I don't know if it really it just feels like that because like I drove it really far and I'm like, why did it cost $100 to drive this far? This is insane.
It's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I could drive a Prius and this would have cost $1.
Yeah. Like it used to be that I didn't really pay attention to that, like how much it would cost.
No, yeah. But now out
it's
here it
so
hurts.
insane.
It hurts when
so
it's so expensive. Yeah. I almost bought a Prius.
I went down that route. I was actually looking at this is a car I didn't even know existed, which is the Audi A3 e-tron. It is a hybrid Audi, like from 2000.
Zach is
from
getting
like
so soft.
2013.
Zach has an
It's actually
right now.
pulled. Yeah, as I say, it's pulled itself inside at this point. But it gets 40 like miles to the gallon, which is pretty sick on just regular, and it gets 90 miles to the gallon on the hybrid. And you can buy one for like $5,000.
Yeah.
This isn't about having a car.
Or-
This is about like I have to commute to downtown LA.
just get a fucking Honda Fit or something.
Yeah.
That's a Honda Fit's a
Yeah.
really good one. I was
Yeah.
looking at that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went by
Coolest thing
I went
Zach's
by
ever said.
I went by Big Time today. Not to see the Big Time guys. I was just there for something else. And the entire back parking lot is Honda Fits. It's like everybody who works there must drive a Honda Fit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's like meme culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I don't know. You got anything else? This is gonna be an early.
I got neck sweat.
Yeah, you do have next.
I am swamp assing hard.
You guys want to get dinner?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
All right.
Thank you very much. It's been a great show. You guys need to hit us with more topics in the well today so that we don't run out of topics next time. Because honestly, I feel like I'm letting these guys off easy at only an hour and 40 minutes.
It's a good pod. Hour 40 is nice.
No, this is like you're like barely, this is just the tip of a pod.
He's trying to
Just
squeeze
getting
in a few more ad spaces on that YouTube.
It's not even, it's
Dude,
honestly.
him and JP did a pod for 4.5 hours.
Yeah, it did really well too. People were into it. But like,
You
it
do
was all
half in
Germans.
German.
No, but all the comments are in German.
Did a 4.5 hour pod net you enough to buy a lunar lander?
No. It barely got me enough to get like a caniac from Cane's Chicken.
But on that note,
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, try it, kids. It's great.
The mailbox is full. The mailbox is full. The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Being a full-size human at 6'8" with a head to match, wearing sunglasses or any glasses for that matter has never been flattering for this melon. That is until Heatwave Visual launched extra large sizes. That's right. See these glasses on my head right now? 152 millimeters wide. You too can free that oversized head from those shameful too small glasses. Go check out all the extra large styles at heatwavevisual.com. I'm a tool dork. My obsession might even dwarf my addiction to cars. I love collecting unique and specialty tools, which is how I initially fell in love with Wera. First off, they just make aesthetically pleasing tools. They feel good in your hand, they have a great finish, their sizes are universally color-coded, and they are super strong. In 2 decades, I've never broken a tool from Wera. I wish I could say the same about my other tools. But the thing I like the most about Wera is that they create clever solutions for your wrenching woes, because you need over-engineered tools to work on today's over-engineered cars. So if you're ready to step up your tool game, whether it's the Zyklop ratchet or the Joker wrenches, find them at weratools.com. Let's face it, living the low life does come with its drawbacks. When I first got my RWB 911, there were only 3 gas stations in all of Long Beach I could get into without ripping the front bumper off. Luckily, KW Suspensions then introduced the Hydro Lift system to raise your car to adult heights. The HLS2 lifts the front axle, while the HLS4 lifts them all. It's available as a complete kit or an add-on to your existing KW coilovers. And it works up to 50 miles an hour, meaning you don't have to take every dip in the road at that douchey 45-degree, 2-mile-an-hour crawl. Check out kwsuspensions.com to find a kit for your slammed ride.